Hello, what is going on? My name is Danny, and today we have a topic, our first topic video. Now, I just came up with this topic on the spot this morning when I was thinking in a bit of a hurry about what I could make this video about, because I've got to get a video out today. I'm keeping to the routine every week, at least. And today's topic is going to be quantum jumping. Now, you might think, what is this woo-woo nonsense? Or maybe you're well versed in the art of hopping between realities via your consciousness. Either way, I hope you get something from this video. It's just a little bit of a reflection about what I understand and my experience with it, and a little bit of the history that I can remember, because I've done zero research. This is just all stuff that I've been looking into over the last maybe 6 months or so. So what is quantum jumping? Well, quantum jumping is a term that was coined by a guy called Bert Goldman. Now, Bert Goldman unfortunately died at the age of 92 or 93, I can't remember, in 2020. And he became popular, more popular, as popular as a meditation teacher gets, I suppose, in his 80s for his teachings around the meditation quantum jumping. Now, quantum jumping is when you get into a meditative state and you are able to connect, so Bert Goldman says, with an alternate version of yourself in a different reality that simultaneously exists at the same time as you, and you can connect to this alternate self, ask it for wisdom, ask it for experience and knowledge, and then you can bring that back into your own reality. He calls this alternate self a doppelganger. It definitely reminds me of the terms higher self when you hear that thrown around in spiritual circles. Yeah, that's the gist of it, basically. One example that Bert Goldman uses is that he himself, at the age of 80, I believe, had never picked up a paintbrush. And so using quantum jumping, he connected to an alternate version of himself that was experienced at painting, and within a year, he'd produced many paintings and was making money from selling them, which most painters don't do. So that's pretty impressive in some sense, at least on the surface, that story. Okay, so how do we do quantum jumping? What is the process? That's what this section is going to be called, the process of quantum jumping. Well, there's many meditations out there on YouTube of Bert Goldman talking you through a meditation. I highly recommend you look one up if you're interested. It usually starts with some sort of relaxation technique. Now, other meditations, they'll use maybe a breath awareness technique or a body scan or something like that in order to relax you first. Bert Goldman, I believe he was a hypnotist, so his relaxation techniques involve visualizing, counting down from 10 to 1 as you walk down a flight of stairs into a corridor. Things like that, which just get you into a little bit more of a relaxed state. Now, they use the sort of scientific terms of getting into an alpha wave state, theta brain waves. I don't know. The science about that seems new and interesting, but I don't know enough about it to speak about it. Anyway, you get relaxed, and then you choose an alternate self to connect with. You open a door, and you look at that alternate self doing the thing that you want to be doing, or being the you that you want to be. And then you connect with that alternate self. And Bert Goldman uses the terminology connect with the rhythm of that alternate self. I think other terms might be connect with the energy of that alternate self, the flavour. Anyway, he says connect with the rhythm of that alternate self. Now, when I hear him say that, I assume that he means observe the alternate self. You know, let's use the example of a painter. What are they doing? Probably painting. Maybe they're talking to a gallery owner and getting their painting put up somewhere. And you observe the alternate version of yourself, your doppelganger, doing this activity. And you connect with what emotions are they feeling at the time. Are they relaxed? Are they energetic? Do they seem proud of themselves? And what kind of feeling does that evoke in you when you see those emotions? And you try and then step into that alternate self and feel the way they feel, and you be in the experience of being them in the meditation in your mind's eye. Then after a while of doing this, you feel the way they feel and you come out with a meditation. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So what's my experience with this meditation? Why am I talking about it today? Well, I discovered it a couple of months back, maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago. I can't remember. I've done it haphazardly since then, and I just thought I'd reflect on it because I found it quite useful. I guess I used to be a real skeptic about all sorts of things, very scientific, and don't get me wrong, I don't disagree with science, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all now in the way that I used to. I realise that science doesn't have all the answers. And when I would hear terms like energy, vibration, I would just think woo-woo nonsense. As I started to look into, or at least hear about concepts within quantum physics, double slit experiment, that seems to show that if an electron is not being observed, it's a wave. Well, I'm electrons. That wall is electrons. This chair is electrons. I'm electrons. I'm electrons doing a certain thing, like connected to atoms in a structure, but I'm still made of electrons. And then I had the thought of, well, if you look at an atom, yeah, maybe it is all just solid atomic building blocks, like a little house, a little block of flats made of atoms. But what happens if you go smaller? You zoom in on the atom and it's what's it called? You zoom in on an atom and it's a nucleus with electrons in a sort of mist around it. And then if you zoom in on the nucleus, you get neutrons and you get protons, and you zoom in on them and you get quarks. And you zoom in on the quarks, and you zoom in on the thing that's in the quarks, and you zoom in on the thing that's in the thing that's in the quarks. And what do you get in the end? It's becoming more and more apparent that it's just varying forms of energy. So what's the difference between the energy of a thought and the energy of a visualization and the energy of a physical object? And the energy of a physical object, like my head. What's the difference? Well, I think it's maybe something I don't know. Well, it does make me think of this book, Creative Visualization, by Shakti Gawain. So this, near the start of the book, it says, the physical universe is energy. The scientific world is beginning to discover what metaphysical and spiritual teachers have known for centuries. Our physical universe is not really composed of any matter at all. Its basic component is a kind of force or essence that we call energy. Ooh. Things appear to be solid and separate from one another on the level at which our physical senses normally perceive them. On finer levels, however, atomic and subatomic levels, seemingly solid matter is seen as smaller and smaller particles within particles, which eventually turn out to be just pure energy. Physically, we are all energy, and everything within and around us is made up of energy. And then a little bit later on, she says, all forms of energy are interrelated and can affect one another. So there's a little bit of the sort of science mixed with spirituality kind of interweaving, which I found very interesting. I've tried this meditation a few times, and all meditation, I believe, if you relax yourself, it helps you. If you get into a relaxed state, it helps you in some way. Something about this meditation is the conscious connection to a version of myself that has the answers to a topic, or has the experience or the wisdom required to become a person that I want to be. And I found that quite useful. A couple of issues I've come up against as I've been doing this meditation. Struggling to decide what version of myself to connect to. Like Bert Goldman just says, oh yeah, I wanted to be a painter, so I did it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be a painter, and then I'll do a painter meditation. Then the next day I'll wake up and I'll think, oh, maybe I'll be a person who catches ducks. Oh, and the next day, maybe I'll be a sausage manufacturer. I haven't actually wanted to be any of those things, but you know what I mean? I'm scatterbrained and I can't decide which one I want to be. So the solution I came up with to that is to not think of specific like job titles or I want to be a Oscar-winning Batman in the next Marvel DC crossover movie. I don't think of the specifics. I think of what those specifics would give me in the moment. So, maybe if I wanted to be Batman in this crossover film, then how would that make me feel? And, it might make me feel fulfilled, successful, free. And so, rather than aim for the Batman version of me in the meditation, I would focus my attention toward connecting to the most fulfilled, most successful, most calm, most knowledgeable, most free version of myself, and just see what visualization crops up, rather than imagining myself in a Batman outfit. I just think of what would the most fulfilled version of me look like, or just see what images come to me. And it's been quite useful. Now, I haven't travelled through some sort of portal like Doctor Strange. I'm definitely going to do a thumbnail with a Doctor Strange portal and an explosion. But I haven't travelled through some portal. In fact, it's almost very nothing-y. And it puts me into a state of mind where I'm just a little bit more receptive to reacting to creative ideas that crop up in my mind. I don't know if quantum jumping has led me to make this YouTube channel. I feel like I've listened to the thought of, you should make a YouTube channel, in my mind more freely than I would have in the past. And perhaps that's as a result of doing quantum jumping. I don't know. The other thing I've been sort of inconsistent with when I do this meditation is I'm not sure whether to ask the alternate me for guidance explicitly and be like, hey pal, have you got any advice for me? Or do I just watch them and see what they say? And I think what I've realised is actually either way works. But if I just stand there asking, like, please give me advice, give me some advice right now, I need the advice, I'm not calm enough to even hear the answers. So it's actually usually better if I just observe whatever images come to my mind with a bit of a query in mind or a desire to be a bit more like them, and just step into the feeling of feeling calmer or more fulfilled or more patient or more generous or whatever kind of person it is I want to be as a result of being this different version of myself and connecting with this doppelganger. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, so that's a bit of a ramble. Hopefully I'm going to get this video out today. I would love to do a bit more of a deep dive on this with some actual information and a script, because I do find it very interesting. What I am going to do is I think I'm going to set myself I did quantum jumping for 30 days and here's the new me kind of video. That's going to be the clickbaity title that I give it. It might give me a little bit of time to prepare to talk about this topic in a more professional way with a little bit more experience of regular practice under my belt, and it just gives me more content to churn out. I don't have to think of another idea in a last minute rush like I did today. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll probably start day one of quantum jumping tomorrow. I did it yesterday. I did it the day before, but I keep falling asleep because I keep just doing it as I'm like lazing about on the couch. So I'm going to make an active effort to like sit up, stay awake, journal very briefly either side of the meditation, and I'll post the social experiment on myself to YouTube in 30 days-ish. Great idea. Okay, well, that's about it from me for today, and thanks for watching. If you watch this, well, you wouldn't be seeing this if you didn't watch it. Do the liking and the subscribing. I'll probably put it there, actually. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. That's what they say, don't they? And hit me up with some comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you think I'm a mental lunatic, or if you have also tried quantum jumping. Either way, I welcome your comments, so I can either argue with you or fall in love with you. Okay, goodbye.